Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, in this video, we're talking about the Hello Neighbor Iceberg. If you don't know what an iceberg image is, it's an image about video games, music. It can really be about anything. At the top of the iceberg are more known facts, but the farther you go down, the facts get more obscure and less known. So let's start our long journey down the iceberg. Oh, also a quick side note. I know a lot of other people do these videos, but I haven't seen anybody do the Hello Neighbor one. And my source for the Hello Neighbor one is from, what's his name? I'm searching it up right now. I forgot to write it down. What's your name? Posted by LeafyBoy98. So shout out to him, because he gave me the ideas for this. So yeah, so once again, let's start. Section 1, above the iceberg. Alpha 1.5 prototype. So the sources for a lot of these entries are from the Hello Neighbor wiki fandom. You can check them out in the description. They're really great over there. They gave me a lot of my information, so yeah. Anyways, Alpha 1.5 was an unreleased version of Hello Neighbor. It is an early version of Alpha 2, and also Alpha 1.5 was never publicly available. Alpha 2. Alpha 2 is the 5th build of Hello Neighbor. It has been publicly released. It is also the first public build to have an explorable basement, because in the older ones, the basement, it just took you to the end screen. Basically that was the end of the alpha, but in this one you can explore the basement. Also, this map is more built up. It has a graveyard and a small lake around the outside of the house. So more like the full release version of the game, if you know what I'm talking about. And also versions of the player's house, Nicky Roth. They copy and paste these houses around the map to make it look more. It looks like there's more like stuff to do around the place, but you can't actually mess with it. So yeah. AI rundown. This is an official video from TinyBuild, Hello Neighbor's publisher. In this video, it shows how the AI works and what it does. For example, it shows the neighbor doing activities such as jogging, sleeping, watching TV, and washing the dishes. It also shows the neighbor chasing the player and his actions after the player leaves his yard. Pre-alpha. This is the second build of Hello Neighbor. Let me get my words straight. Sorry here. This is the second build of Hello Neighbor, and it was the first version to be publicly released. Alpha 3. This is the 6th build of Hello Neighbor, and the second biggest alpha. This version is always night, opposite to the eternal day from Alpha 2. Alpha 3 has the house from Act 3 in the full release, so the really big house with all the different things. This house is more interesting with more objects to interact with, such as an easier to use magnet gun. However, the neighbor is way more annoying in this version. For example, he does not go in idle mode nearly as much as the other alphas. Teaser trailer. This is another trailer released by TinyBuild. In this trailer, we see Nicky driving down an empty road while the neighbor is setting up his house for the next victim. So on screen, I'll be having the trailer playing, so yeah. Hello Neighbor was delayed. Hello Neighbor was originally set to release on August 28, 2017, and it was delayed until December 8, 2017. TinyBuild came out and said the reason for the delay was for the QA, quality assurance testing. The delay also gave them time to change last-minute things about the game. Alpha 1. Alpha 1 is the 3rd build of Hello Neighbor. In this build, there is no player model and you can't enter the basement. However, the game does have an ending. When you try to go in the basement, you're greeted with the TinyBuild logo and the Dynamic Pixels logo. And also, if you don't know, Dynamic Pixels co-developed with TinyBuild on Hello Neighbor. Section 2, the surface. Alpha 1.1. I could not find any information online about this one. My theory is that it was a bug fix or it was never publicly released. Old art was based on images from Google. From what I found online, the old Hello Neighbor art was found off of Google to make it look more realistic. A lot of games do this, such as Mario 64. Also, some Rare, the company that makes Banjo and Kazooie, they've done it with some of their games, such as like Conker's Bad Fur Day and games like that. They just find images offline and they use those. So yeah. Later, the devs decided to have their own art style for the game because they wanted to be more original. So I get it. The early prototype. In the first version of the game, the player spawns in front of the neighbor's house with a hammer. When the player enters the basement, a message appears on screen. It's Russian, it will be on screen, I can't pronounce it, which translates to pretty boy. There's no real gameplay. The only video of it shows the game designer Nicky Kolsnukov. Oh my gosh. If he sees this video, he's gonna be mad, but Nikita, that's what I'm gonna call him. So I can't pronounce that last name, but yeah, he was testing features with the AI. Alpha 1.9. This is an unfinished version of the game. In this version, the neighbor does not have a jump scare, and the game is glitchy and has a lot of bugs. Section 3. Below the surface. Microwave Chaos. This is an unlisted video released once again by TinyBuild. In this video, we see the player, which is the neighbor in this video. It's a playable character. The playable character is a neighbor, so yeah. They pick up a microwave and they push items around, knocking over chairs, boxes, etc. My theory is this was a test video showing off the physics of the game and how the game was going development-wise. The Gamm animation. This is a very early animation of how the game would play out. The animation was showed at Gamm. For people who know what Gamm is, it's a small convention for small developers to show off what they've been working on. Mid prototype. This is the first playable version build a Hello Neighbor besides the Gamm animation. Although this version was never released, the version had 3 floors, but only the first one was available. A lot like pre-alpha, in this version the neighbor sometimes says offensive things. This is why I think this version was never publicly available. The version was only seen in the announcement trailer. The neighbor's dad is a scientist. Okay, so in the Hello Neighbor book series, we learn in book 4, I'm pretty sure, that the neighbor's dad and mom both work at the weather station in Raven Brooks. The neighbor's parents create a machine to alter the weather. Well, and they kind of succeed. Their machine works, but it creates bad weather. The neighbor's parents are now hated. There's more to the story, but this is all I'm saying for now. Alpha 1.6. Once again, I could not find much info about this Alpha 1.6. My theory is that 1, it was a bug fix / update, or 2, that it was an unreleased version of the game, only seen in one trailer test. This was an unlisted video by TinyBuild. It was a low poly and had the same basic design as the Gamm trailer, but it was the same as the original trailer, just lower quality. Section 4. The Underbelly. Alpha 0.9. Alpha 0.9, from what I can tell, is like a prototype of the Alpha or a code name for one of the prototypes. The Alpha 1.5 project file was leaked in 2016. Yes, I'm mostly sure this was leaked around 2016. It was kind of a big deal because people really wanted to know more about Hello Neighbor. Quentin is Ike's son. Ike is Mr. Peterson's, the neighbor. That's his childhood friend. Quentin is one of the newest Hello Neighbor. Quentin is in one of the newest Hello Neighbor games, Hello Guest. Are they related? Well, let's look at the facts. Ike and Quentin both have a mustache. They both watch over Ravenbrook's forest. They both have brown hair too. We know from the game / books they both take place in the 1990s, early / early 2000s. So Ike is around 30 or 40 years old, but we do not know when Hello Guest takes place. Therefore, we do not know Quentin's age. In the future, we may know, but for now, all we have are the theories. September and August pre-alpha test builds. Not much online about this entry either. From what I found, they were last minute changes before the pre-alpha. Section 5, Deep Waters. The guest is Pre-Alpha Man. So for people who don't know who Pre-Alpha Man is, he's a playable character in the pre-alpha version of Hello Neighbor. Don't get his name confused with Nicky, they're separate people. Pre-Alpha Man is it's not his real name, it's just what fans refer to him as. Pre-Alpha Man is much faster than Nicky. Pre-Alpha Man also resembles a neighbor. If you look at Pre-Alpha Man's shadow, you can see that he always has his hands on his hips. He also does this when he steps on a bear trap. Pre-Alpha Man kind of looks prideful in my opinion, and he thinks a neighbor cannot stop him. But the real question is Pre-Alpha Man the guest in Hello Neighbor? There's no way to be sure, because the devs have never spoken out about this and said this. But personally, I do not think he is. I think the neighbor is the guest, but possibly not because of the Forest Protector stuff in the Hello Neighbor books. So, I'm going to say no for this one. Hello Neighbor Alpha 1 was rushed. Yes, I think Alpha 1 was rushed. From what I read, they wanted to get the game to be public as soon as possible. In my opinion, I think Alpha 1 runs the best out of all versions of the game. Probably because there's less items and stuff, and it's like the smallest version of the game. Of course, it is an alpha, so everything won't be in the game, and there's also a few bugs. But to sum it all up, I think it was a bit rushed. Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek was meant to be DLC. Yes, Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek was planned to be DLC, but the devs came up with so many ideas they decided to make a whole new game out of it. Think Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was going to be DLC, but they decided to make it a whole new game, so yeah, it's basically the same as this situation. I'm glad they made another game because if they spent more time making this version of the game, and it makes it more fun and less glitchy. Hello Neighbor 3. I'm not 100% sure what this entry means, but I will tell you what I think it does. I think the neighbor is either I think it does. I think it is talking about either a wanted version of the game or a game that's only been speculated, or Hello Guest / Hello Neighbor 2. These games turned out to be the same, but this entry is talking about Hello Guest / Hello Neighbor 2 because technically it is the third Hello Neighbor game. So that is all I have to say about that. Advanced modding. So Hello Neighbor modding has gotten extremely advanced. Some mods have made the game's ultra realistic graphics, as you can see in the gameplay, in the video, and some people have created like completely new levels or like entirely new games. So yes, Hello Neighbor modding has gotten a lot more advanced. Section 6, Approaching the Darkness. Early Act 1 and Beta 3 modkit. So Hello Neighbor modkit is a tool given to the fans by TinyBuild. The tool is used to create mods to add on to Hello Neighbor. A few of the mods were recreations of Act 1 and the full version of Hello Neighbor. The crazy thing is the full game was not even released when these mods were created, yet someone knew them and created it. So the fact that someone knew means that someone leaked this, or two, the creator of the mod was a Hello Neighbor dev. Alpha 1.3. This once again was a small update to Hello Neighbor, only fixing a few glitches. I have nothing else much to say. The Hello Neighbor movie. This was a fake trailer released by Iron Horse Cinema. This studio does a lot of fake interpretations of what different video games will like as movies, such as Baldi's Basics, Minecraft. I think they even done like Legend of Zelda. So it's really cool seeing them do stuff like that. The Hello Neighbor movie was really awesome. Sadly, it is not real, but you can check out the full trailer in the description. I have part of it playing right here, but you can watch the full thing in the description. Hello Guest Alpha 1 test build. So Hello Guest, aka Hello Neighbor. Hello Guest, aka Hello Neighbor 2, Alpha 1 launched the day of the announcement trailer. Overall, the alpha is pretty good. Nothing is majorly wrong, which is always great. The full game has not been released yet, but I'm still excited for it. Section 7, Darkness. Hello Neighbor Alpha 1.2. Alpha 1.2 was a mod that gave you access to the 3rd floor, not much else. Hello Guest Pre-Alpha. The Hello Guest Pre-Alpha, aka Hello Neighbor 2, was the first public version of the game. At the time, the game was known as Hello Guest. The pre-alpha takes place at the Golden Apple amusement park, and you're a security guard, and you make sure no one gets into the park to break stuff. So that's all it is, nothing really that deep. Hello Neighbor 2 takes place in a different timeline. No, I don't think it does. I think it takes place in the future when Raven Brooks is abandoned. I also noticed all the police tape, and I think people and the police found out about what the neighbor was doing, and the town left. I feel pretty confident in my theory, so yeah. Quentin is Nicky's cousin. I think Quentin is Ike's son because they both have the same pointy mustache and overall look alike. So I do not think this is Nicky's cousin, but it is possible. Alpha 1.4. Again, I don't know why there's so many of these on the list. I guess just to fill up empty space. So probably just another bug fix / update. Every copy of modkit is personalized. So if you don't know what modkit is, TinyBuild made it as themselves for the fans to create their own mods. If only this was Nintendo. It's kind of sad. But anyways, it was a competition to see who create the best and unique mod. But the part that says every copy is personalized is obviously a joke from the popular Super Mario 64 theory that every copy of the game is personalized. In conclusion, modkit is real, but every copy is not personalized. Section 8. Approaching the Void. The neighbor is in jail in Act 3. He's definitely not in jail, real jail, but he may be under house arrest. That also might explain why he does not leave his yard. So my theory is pretty likely, in my opinion. Alpha 5. I could not find much on this one. I even posted it to the subreddit, and they said this is just a fake thing. So it may have been mods. So yeah, that's about it. Lost second prototype trailer. Yes, there was apparently a version of the prototype trailer that never got released, but the video is nowhere to be found online. If anyone can find this, please comment a link where you found it. Beta 4. Another fake thing that is definitely not real besides mods. Coco Shoko is a Hello Neighbor dev. Alright, so this guy, Korok Seed, that's what I'm gonna call him, a Korok, is the ultimate Hello Neighbor modder. You go up to him and you ask him, "Hey Korok, make me a Hello Neighbor mod that makes the neighbor have completely custom AI." Okay, I'll get to work. You thought I was gonna let you off that easy. I want you to create an entirely new house for the neighbor, and I want you to create your own custom music for the game. Okay. Korok 5 minutes later. Done. So you get my point. He is good at modding Hello Neighbor. Honestly, I think he is a Hello Neighbor dev because he knows the game so well. He knows like the ins and outs of it. If he is not a Hello Neighbor dev, I don't even know. Like Hello Neighbor, hire him. TinyBuild, please hire him. But unless he comments on the video, I guess we will never know. The neighbor is a real person. 100% true. Actually saw him at Walmart the other day. Not clickbait, 100% real. You can see the leaked photo on here. It's not clickbait, 100% real. Shocking, I know. The neighbor's third child. I think the neighbor kidnaps Nicky because he wants to replace Maya because losing her was too much on the neighbor. He wants to fill that void, so he might consider Nicky his own child. Section 9. The Void. Hello Neighbor is based off events from Nicky's childhood. For people who don't know, Nicky is a real person that created Hello Neighbor. The game was his idea, so he was one of the main devs on this game. From theories online, some of the people were based on real life events, and other parts were just made up. Old art full game. So in Alpha 1, the art style the Hello Neighbor team used was more realistic and less cartoony. When the full game was released, they had more cartoony art style, but they still left old assets from the alphas. So yes, there are some of the old artwork in the full game. Second early prototype video. This video, released by Dynamic Light, it shows the prototype, aka version 0.15. This is an extremely basic version of Hello Neighbor. For one, the AI is not even complete. It's not even complete yet, and the house has no windows and very few objects. But it still looks interesting to look back at this basic version of the game. Hello Neighbor pre-alpha April build. This does not exist, just a hoax. The neighbor is a terrorist. He obviously is. Just look at all those tennis ball guns he has. He could destroy a whole city if he wanted. He has so many items in his house that he could create an entire city with everything it's got. Pre-alpha second floor. This was a glitch in the pre-alpha that allowed you to glitch into the second floor. It wasn't very interesting up there, but it's still cool to do it. It's crazy the glitches people find in these games. Section 10. Emptiness. The neighbor fought in World War II. Actually, this might be true because in Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek, one of the levels is during a war in the middle of winter. I think the neighbor might have fought for the Soviet Union because the game's language is based off of Russian, and in the books, they lived in, that was Germany they lived in for a short time, but this might be true. November 12th, 2015 build. This was a version of the game which never got released to the public. It made the neighbor's house a bit bigger and added a few more objects. Pre-alpha was made in Unity. Yes, the original pre-alpha of the game was made in Unity, a game making program. But after pre-alpha, the devs wanted to move into Unreal Engine, which is more advanced and more powerful than Unity. Nicky is a real person. Not exactly. Nicky is a video game version of Nikia. As you can see, the names are similar. For one, the previous entry on the Iceberg said that Hello Neighbor is based off events from Nikia's childhood, so Nicky is kind of a real person. Hello Neighbor Unreal Engine 3 Lost version. This was just another version which never got publicly available, so that is why it is considered lost. Findable Tag is Nikia's brother. Findable Tag is a Reddit user / Hello Neighbor fan. I think he also makes mods too. I do not think he's Nikia's brother, but unless he comments on the video, I guess we will never know. So that is the end of the Hello Neighbor Iceberg. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you stayed to the very end, thank you. This took weeks to make, and I would appreciate a like on the video, and maybe you could possibly subscribe. I don't know. But with that, we're done, and I will see you in the next video. What's up, guys? Subscribe and like in the next 5 seconds. I'll just stop. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.